Yesterday with you, we just try connect up the call, because we're having problems. I don't know why. Yes. So, yes, on the line we have a man who is a clinical psychologist. Yeah, doctor of clinical psychology, a certified school psychologist, and he's a very popular motivational speaker, and is popularly known as the Prince of Pan-Africanism. Dr. UMAR Johnson, welcome. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, I can. I can hear you clearly. Can you hear me?
Right, yeah. Let me turn it up a bit. Okay. Dr. UMAR Johnson, welcome to the Ras McCoy Good Fight Show and to Galaxy Radio, yeah? Oh.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's just cutting out a bit. Yeah, can you speak again for me, please? Dr. UMAR?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, yeah. I just want to get the volume right. Yeah.
Prince of Pan-Africanism,
Yeah.
certified school psychologist, former Minister of Education, UNIA ACL, founder of the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey RBG International Leadership Academy.
Yes, my brother. Yeah, it is an honor to have you call in to the program and to let the Galaxy audience and my audience hear what you have to say, because you are very popular over here in the United Kingdom. You're one of the leading black speakers around the world, and it's a privilege to have you on the program. But it's a couple of things I would like to reason with you about, and one of them, the first one, which is the one that you. But first, before we do that, just give a brief, like about 2 minutes, synopsis about yourself and where you're coming from and where you're going to.
Yes, sir. As you said, I'm a doctor of clinical psychology, certified school psychologist. Saving black children is what I do, especially black boys. I am founder of the National Independent Black Parent Association, which seeks to organize black parents towards fighting against structural racism in the schools as it relates to special education, school discipline, psychiatric medication, psychological evaluation, so forth and so on. I am a special education expert. I am also former Minister of Education for Marcus Garvey's UNIA ACL. I'm a Pan-Africanist, a scholar, blood relative to the great Frederick Douglass. And I'm currently in the process of restoring a school we just purchased a few weeks ago in Wilmington, Delaware, which will be the site of the first Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. So I'm very excited about that. And I'm author of the book, Psychoacademic Holocaust, the Special Education and ADHD Wars Against Black Boys.
Yes, that was lovely. Yeah, because, first I would like to tell you, say, I was at your last event over here at the Lighthouse in London with you and Mota Baruka. And it was a pleasure watching both you and Mota Baruka speak and to hear you speak. Are you hearing me?
Thank you, Bob.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So what I want to ask you about, is the school, because you've been taking a lot stick about the school, and I'm glad now to see that you have you get a property now, and that people now can see say it wasn't joke and it wasn't a scam and them thing there. I would like a reason a little bit on that.
Well, to be honest with you, Baba, because our people are addicted to negativity, often when people follow social networks, particularly YouTube, it can give the false impression that most within our global African family do not support Dr. Umar Johnson. Of course, nothing could be further from the truth. Most of our people support Dr. Umar Johnson. It's just that our social media platforms are so focused on negativity that the detractors and the agents and the provocateurs and the saboteurs, they get all of the attention. And because of that, when you go on YouTube, it'll look like so many of our people don't support Dr. Umar Johnson, only because negativity gets the attention. Negativity gets the views. Negativity gets the likes and the clicks. And so basically those who are opposed to my work are so committed to working against me that it looks like I have more detractors than I do. So in the largest scheme of things, that segment of Dr. Umar haters is a very small segment in the larger scheme of things, but they are so consistent and so adamant about working against my best interest that it gives the false impression that I have more detractors than I actually do. With that being said, I want to thank those brothers and sisters across the UK and across Europe, because a lot of school donations came from the United Kingdom. A lot of school donations came from France. A lot of school donations came from around the African European community. So I want to thank them for helping us purchase this school. And when the time comes to start hiring teachers, without question, I will be looking honorably upon many of the resumes that I have received from brothers and sisters from Europe who have expressed interest in relocating to the United States of America to assist us with the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy. So I must thank the brothers and sisters in Europe because they helped make this a reality. With that being said, Baba, it's amazing how many questions of negative concern that brothers and sisters can have about a brother who is an educator, who is a former school principal, who is a certified school principal, who is a school psychologist, who is one of the top educational voices in the Pan-African world. It's amazing at how many questions people come up with in an attempt to try to poke holes in the confidence of the community towards what I'm trying to do. It's amazing how we can think of all the reasons why FDMG can't work, but we can't think of any reasons why it could work. So it's just amazing how negativistic so many of our people can be.
Well, as you know, we are up against it from the slavers them, because the slavers them don't want to see this happen, because this means freedom for black people. The right type of education means freedom for black people, and the slavers don't like see it. And those who take the slave program, them not like see it either, the self-haters. Them quicker for want to see you feel like you say. And you also have the so-called insecurity service, them, what them call, like the CIA and the FBI and all them, like, who don't want to see you succeed and don't want to see black people educate themselves. So we're glad you have the courage and the tenacity and the perseverance to hold on and keep fighting. And no doubt you're going to have a wholly more at this coming year week. In Jamaica, we have a saying, the higher the monkey climb, the more him exposed. And we want you to hold on in there for our people, them. Yes?
Oh, without question. Without question, Baba.
Yeah, so just give them a little thing now how you want to structure the school, because I see you talk a little bit about it and what you want to do and the type of programs you want to run. Just give me a little synopsis there again as well.
First, let me say, Baba, we've been blessed to get this school because we could not afford it. We did not have enough money. They wanted more than $750,000. The school cost over $1 million. It was actually constructed using $13 million. But because there was some vandalism and some theft within the school, that's what brought the price down to $1 million. But we couldn't afford that. So 18 months is what it took me to convince the owners to tell me the school but what we had. So I'm very grateful to the Most High God, to the ancestors, the Loas, the Orishas, the Abusams, the Iyamis. I'm thankful to all the spirits of Africa that made this possible, Bob, because we couldn't afford it. This was an 18-month tug of war, a 18-month struggle to try to get this school, and it was an act of God, Bob. I'm telling you, it was literally an act of God that we got this school. Now, with that being said, we have four buildings, including two schools. We don't have one school building. We have two school buildings right across the street from each other, facing one another. We have two gymnasiums, a large main gym inside the Frederick Douglass building, and we have a smaller gym, which is still a large building, which is right next to the Marcus Garvey building, the Marcus Garvey School building, and then right next to the Marcus Garvey School building on the other side. One side is the gym, and then on the other side of the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey building, there is a fourth building which can be re-outfitted to be whatever we want it to be. I think I'm going to turn that into a Pan-African library. I think that's going to be the Pan-African library for the community so we can raise consciousness. What I like most, if you say, what do I like most about this particular property? Number one, space. We have all the space we need, Bob. So next summer, August of 2020, as you know, that will be the centennial of the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey and the UNIA's 100 years since the first international convention of the African peoples of the world held in Madison Square Garden, New York City. And it will be the 100-year anniversary, the centennial of the red, black, and green flag. And so I plan to host Team Pan-African, my organization. We plan to host our first month-long convention to commemorate Garvey's first convention and to commemorate the birth of the red, black, and green flag. And we have the space to do it. That's what I love the most, Baba. We have the space. The gym, the large gym inside of the Frederick Douglass building can hold more than 1,000 people by itself. On top of that, you have 16 classrooms, a lunchroom, and then you go across the street to the Marcus Garvey building, you got another 8 to 12 classrooms. Then you go into the gym, you have more space. Then in the fourth building, you have more space. So what I love the most about this building, it not only gives us the space to operate a kindergarten through 12th grade school. We have enough space for a K to 12 school. But on top of that, when school is not in season, we have enough space to hold all the conferences, all the think tanks, all the seminars, all the workshops, all the symposiums that we need to organize our people. So the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy building is not only the FDMG Academy, brother, but it is also headquarters, international headquarters for Team Pan-African, and it will be the Mecca, it will be the Taj Mahal, it will be the Timbuktu and the Luxor internationally for Black consciousness. We own it. We own it outright. It is not mortgaged. There's no money left due. It is ours, owned by the African race in trust to Dr. UMAR Johnson and the FDMG Academy. With regard to the curriculum, you're required to teach math. You're required to teach science. You're required to teach language. You're required to teach history, civics, and social studies. So I don't have to mention those. Those are required anyway. On top of those, and in alignment with those required 5 subjects, there will be an agricultural agronomical science, there will be a political and military science, there will be a financial and economic science, there will be a dietary and nutritional science, there will be a science of the Black man and Black family, and there will be a science of African spirituality and cosmology. That will form the 6 key curricular sciences of FDMG. The purpose of the school is to create nation builders. The purpose of the school is to produce an entire generation of revolutionary Pan-African nationalists. The purpose of the school is to make Black gods out of Black boys.
Yes, because we really need that type of education, because the youth, a lot of the youth, them wayward now, and we really need a school. I remember Queen Mother Moore saying to me when I see her one more, she said, you'll never see the Israelis sending their children to the Palestinian school. But time and time again, we keep sending our children to the enemy school, and the enemies is only going to do what the enemy do, which is to get rid of it. You understand? But they might not get rid of it physically, but them get rid of or intelligence, which is just as dangerous. So would glad to see that you know setting up the school. So what type of time frame you think that you, because I know you're gonna need a lot more money to get to the next stage of it. So you have a kind of
there's three stages.
Yeah.
3 stages, Baba. The first stage was acquisition.
Yeah.
We have been victorious with acquisition.
Yes.
We now have the school. The second stage is restoration. That is repairing the school, bringing it up to code. It is a beautiful, modern campus. The inside of the buildings are modern. We don't have to worry about asbestos and lead and a lot of concerns like that. But again, there has been extensive vandalism during these 3 years since the last school that occupied it was there. So we need to raise $1 million for the restoration of the academy.
Yeah.
That's the stage we're in now. And then once we restore, we look at operations. But here's the beauty. Here's the beauty of restoration. There's 4 separate buildings.
Yes.
So even if we don't achieve our full number, even if we don't get, we need 1 million to restore the entire campus.
Yes.
Let's say we only get half of that. We should still be able to renovate 1 full building, one of the 2 school buildings, either the Marcus Garvey building or the Frederick Douglass building.
Yeah.
And we can still have our quadricentennial 400 years of resistance against white oppression in America. We can still have that celebration this coming August of 2019 with just 1 building rehabilitated. That's the beauty of this. You have, the school is in parts. So if we don't get all $1 million, we hope to raise enough to restore either the Frederick Douglass building or the Marcus Garvey building. So I'm still seeing this as a win-win. And to let the brothers and sisters who are listening to your show from Europe know that August the 21st of 2019 will be 400 years in totality since Africans were brought to America as enslaved property under the British and then later under the United States of America for the last 89 years of slavery. 400 years is the quadricentennial. Quadricentennial means 400. So we will be honoring and remembering our ancestors, our struggle, our people, our ability to continue to survive and stand strong and be who we are after 400 years of consistent onslaught, oppression, repression, and extermination at the hands of the British North American white man. And so we plan to have a week-long conference at the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, a.k.a. International Headquarters for Team Pan-African, a.k.a. the central Black organizing site for the entire Pan-African world. We plan to have a week-long conference from August the 20th to August the 25th. Celebration. The conference will be August of 2020. The celebration will be August of 2019. So we want to have a week-long celebration, seminars, workshops, think tanks, activities for children, meetings for sisters, meeting for brothers, meetings for elders, meetings for college students, food, vendors, entertainment, and the list goes on. That's what we want to do for our people, for all we've been through. 400 years here in America, even longer when we leave America. And this is a Pan-African celebration, so you don't have to be the descendant of an enslaved African to participate. We are one family, and so we welcome our British African brothers and sisters and our Caribbean African brothers and sisters, our Central and South African brothers, Central and South American African brothers and sisters, as well as our African brothers from the continent, Australia, Canada, and points beyond, to be with us as we honor our ancestors after 400 years, August the 20th to August the 21st. But to do that, we need donations. I've been getting emails from brothers and sisters in Europe who want to donate, and they think that they can't send a check or money order. That is not true. Brothers and sisters, you can send your certified check or money order payable to the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy. Yes, you can send it, and you can send it to the P.O. Box that I'm going to give you right now, and that is 9634. P.O. Box 9634, Wilmington, Delaware, USA. FDMG Academy, P.O. Box 9634, Wilmington, Delaware, 19809. That is the new P.O. Box. If by chance you already sent a donation to the old P.O. box, that's absolutely fine as well. I'm still going to be holding on to the old P.O. box. Okay, we want everybody to transition to the new Delaware P.O. box, but if they send it to the Philadelphia P.O. box, we will still get it. There's no worry. Send your donations and my bank will exchange your check or money order. It will be exchanged into U.S. currency. No worries. We are looking to do something electronic soon for the donations, but right now you can mail them in.
Yes. So you say that is the first thing you plan to do, to keep that conference and seminars in August of this year. So you hope to get it operational by August of this year.
Yes, we have 6 months, Bob. From this Friday, March 1st to August the 1st is 6 months. That is more than enough time to gather the money. That is more than enough time to make the repairs. Again, even if we get one building done, I just want our brothers and sisters to be able, especially my donors, brother, because my donors, people who supported the FDMG Academy, people who supported Dr. UMAR Johnson, we have been through a lot, brother. We have been through a lot these 4.5 years since we began the fundraiser in spring of 2014. We've had people sabotage us, mostly Negroes. We've had them shut down the online donation page. We've had them go to this agency. I mean, jealous, envious, self-hating Negroes, most of whom consider themselves to be conscious. I don't know how, but they did all they could to sabotage this campaign, just as they did with the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey 100 years before me. But just like Mr. Garvey, we are staying strong. We are staying the course. If God is for me, who can be against me?
Yeah, because you see, this is why we need the school for educate the people ourselves, because the enemy is educating the people, and they are educating the people to implode upon themselves. We definitely won't do that. So I'm glad that people like yourself is setting up some school, even though you have black colleges in America, like what name, Howard name, and more, are quite a few of them over there. But them still no plan to do. Them still not doing what you plan to do, which is really a proper Afrocentric education, and we love that. So in the interim, how much student you think you'll be able to accommodate, and what type of students?
I'm sorry about that. We have the space to operate a kindergarten through 12th grade academy.
Yeah.
And ultimately, we will have a kindergarten through 12th grade academy. However, Baba, in the beginning, I plan to start with 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. And the reason I plan to start with 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade is that's usually, whether we're talking about the United Kingdom, whether we're talking about Paris, whether we're talking about New York City or Philadelphia, whether we're talking about Toronto or Montreal, that is usually the grade when our boys begin to psychologically detach and distance themselves and psychologically drop out from the educational process. I want to catch them before these white teachers start psychologically abusing our children. So 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade is critical. That's when special ed starts. That's when ADHD starts. That's when psychiatric medication starts. That's when the suspensions begin to really intensify. So we want to catch them before they start to destroy them. That's the first reason why I want to do 3rd, 4th, and 5th. The second reason, Baba, is we have to make sure we socialize and re-Africanize our boys. In other words, I don't want children coming to me with only a year of schooling before they go out into the world and they don't fully understand the Marcus Garvey principle. They don't fully understand what it means to be a revolutionary Pan-African nationalist. They don't fully understand the history and culture of who we are as a people. They don't fully understand that they are a walking God sent from the Most High to earth to create a heaven on earth. I need to make sure they are living and breathing revolutionary Pan-Africanism when they leave my school. So I need to get them young enough, Bob. We need to get them young enough to make sure we can thoroughly re-Africanize them. And that's why I want to start with the young ones.
Yes, that's beautiful. And about how much you think you'll be able to, on the first call, you'll be able to enroll?
I'm probably going to do somewhere between, and it's still a little too early to tell, but at present, I'm looking at no more than 6 to 10 classes to start.
Right.
6 to 10 classes. So there may be 3 third grades, 3 fourth grades, 3 fifth grades, and then there might be 1 kindergarten, or there might be 1 sixth grade, or there might be 1 seventh grade.
Right.
It's going to depend on the parental interest in the school after we've completed the second stage, which is restoration. Before we move into operation, I want to see which grades are included amongst the parents who plan to send their children to the school. So if I find that we have more kindergarten parents, or if I find that we have more sixth grade parents, then I will accommodate the beginning grade levels based on the interests. Because at the end of the day, a school is still a business, and all businesses operate on supply and demand. So if there is a demand for middle school, if there is a demand for the early primary grades, K1 and 2, then we will have to supply our people with what they need. And what I also love about this school, Baba, because it is in Delaware, it is strategically located in a central East Coast area that allows Black parents from New Jersey, Black parents from Pennsylvania, and Black parents from Maryland to access the school. So the beauty is we will not solely have Black boys from Delaware. We will have Black boys from New Jersey, Black boys from Pennsylvania, Black boys from Maryland, because Delaware is the central nexus where all 4 of those states connect as a quad state area. So we will be able to educate Black boys in the entire quad state, which I'm really excited about, because that is in keeping with our mission as Pan-Africanists to reach beyond borders. We do not limit our work to the geographical superficial boundaries imposed by the white man.
Yeah, because that is one of the questions I want to ask you. Like, say, somebody here in the United Kingdom want a child to have the education which you intend to supply. Would they be able to enroll in your institution?
They have 3 options. They have 3 options. Any African in the world, whether they live outside of the quad state area, but within the United States, whether they're in Central South America, whether they're in Europe, Asia, Australia, it's an international school. So they have a couple options. Option number 1, relocate. Move to Delaware, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Northern Maryland, and have your child go to the school. That's option number 1. Obviously, that's the least desirable and affordable option, but it is an option. Yeah. And I have heard from parents already, Baba, who do plan to do just that. There's parents who said, as soon as you announce the grade, if it includes my son's grade, I'm moving, because that's how important education is in our family. So that's option 1, but I understand that option is not very desirable. Option 2, if you have friends or family that live somewhere within the FDMG vicinity, send your child to go and live with them during the school year so they can be educated by Dr. UMAR Johnson and company. So that's another option. Find a family that will adopt your child during the school year. That's option number 2. Option number 3, Baba, which is a very positive option, there's a lot of land for sale around the FDMG area. And I'm going to be looking for land in the area that we can purchase and begin to build a nice sized dormitory. So for parents who want to send their children to FDMG, there will be a residential component. There will be a residential component for Africans around the diaspora who can't afford to relocate but don't mind sending their son to be with Dr. Umar and the other brothers during the school year. So I am seriously looking at that. That will not be ready the first or second year. I want to be honest. That will not be ready until the 3rd year at the soonest. Okay? But it is a very plausible and possible option, and it is one that I am thoroughly exploring. Okay? There's also the possibility, Baba, that the Marcus Garvey building could be outfitted as a residential dorm. I've had a lot of people express interest in me turning the Marcus Garvey building into a dormitory since we already have the Frederick Douglass building. The only reason why I'm opposed to that is I expect my school to grow by leaps and bounds.
Right.
I expect that after a year, I'm going to need all the class space that I have. That's the only reason why I'm holding off on turning the Marcus Garvey building into a dormitory. Okay. Another option as well, Baba, is I plan to build a virtual school platform. A virtual school platform that allows my little brothers in Paris and my little brothers in London, in Wolverhampton and Bristol and in Leeds and in Manchester and in Liverpool, it will give them the opportunity to tap into their computer, link into the class, and they will be able to see their class and be in their class, live stream in the moment. They can see their teacher, the teacher can see them, they can hear their classmates can see them. Okay, that's a virtual school, not to be confused with a cyber school. I do not support cyber schools. Computers have no business teaching children. People will teach children. So how long will it take for us to get the virtual school platform created? That depends on how long it takes me to find serious, honest, confidential IT professionals who can create that platform. So I'm saying that to say that if there's anyone listening to this conversation, whether they live in Africa, the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, the South Pacific, Central South America, the United States, or the Caribbean, if you have that ability to create that type of platform, please get in contact with Dr. UMAR Johnson, because if we can launch that platform at the same time we launch the regular school, Baba, I have no reservation with having our little brothers across the world tap into those classrooms and be a part of the FDMG revolution as soon as the first day of school. I just need to find the right people who can help me make that IT revolution a reality.
Yes. Yeah, that's good. One more thing on this subject is what is going to be the requirement for the student to be a part of the academy?
To be a black male.
That's all.
Be a black male. We want the so-called learning disabled. We want the so-called ADHD. We want the so-called intellectually disabled, mild intellectual disability. We want the high achieving. We want the low achieving. We want the ones with two parents. We want the ones with one parent. The only requirement is you have to be an African. The other thing, it will be a tuition-based school.
Yeah.
It will be a tuition-based school, so there will be a tuition. I cannot state what that will be until we firmly finish restoring the school and see exactly what the operation costs are going to be, and then we will determine what the tuition will be. Obviously, because this is a not-for-profit school, there is no need for an excessive overhead charge because nobody is getting paid from the school except the employees. So because of that, and because we own the school outright, Bob, because we do own the school outright, we should be able to keep the tuition affordable, and we should be able to control the tuition over the years, so it should not have to grow by much.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like, I wish you good luck. Well, I shouldn't really good luck because he's a hard-working person, and I just wish you good speed and good endeavor in the completion and seeing the academy up and running. But before...
And let me say this real quick, Baba. Our people have no idea what's about to happen. They have no idea. I can't even articulate what's going to happen to your son, our sons, when they walk into that school on the first day. I mean, I don't even want to give out the entire program, but let me just share this with you. We will be taking our boys on a black farm tour in the United States, where they will learn how to plant, reap, and harvest crops, hands-on, from experienced black farmers all across the country. They will learn how to make their own clothes and their own shoes. They will operate their own radio station. I mean, that's just a tad bit. So when you hear the word school, brothers and sisters have no idea of exactly what type of school this is going to be. I mean, your son isn't going to want to come home ever once he comes to the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. You're going to have to snatch him out the school in order to go home. That's how much he's going to be in love with the intellectual insurrection.
Yeah. Yes, because, you know, it's really nice to see people like yourself and others